Oh, hello there.
Tyler, Keith. It's plugged on. We're going to talk about the new album from Death Angel, their 9th album titled Humanicide.
Yeah.
This is the follow-up to The Evil Divide from 2016. Death Angel's a pretty legendary thrash metal band from back in the day in the 80s. Then it kind of went away for a while in the 90s and then came back with a vengeance in the 2000s. And at least their past, I'm going to say 4 albums. Yeah,
at least 4.
They've been on a fucking roll.
Yeah.
They've put out a lot of really just great thrash metal music. So, and especially their last one. Their last one probably potentially being their best album.
Yeah, I think
you can make the argument.
It's up there. It's up there because I really like Relentless Retribution. Is that the album? Or is it Revolution? It's one of them's Revolution, one of them's Retribution. Yeah. I know it's one or the other.
I got you. I'll look it up. But what'd you think of the album?
I really, really dig this album. And this thing. That's not to sound like I don't always dig Death Angel. Death Angel's
Relentless Retribution's the album. Revolution is a song. I always kind of get it backwards too.
So I think because like Death Angel's a band that, and this is a little bit more on me than them. And it's a thing that, especially after listening to this album, which is, spoiler alert, at least as of right now, this is probably my favorite album of the year.
It's good.
Yeah, because it's really good. But it's a band that I have the problem of keeping up with. I don't know why. It's just like, I'll listen to it and then I'll come back to it occasionally, but then I'm just always like, oh yeah, Death Angel, right? I can get Death Angels. They got good shit. I don't really see that happening with this album because, maybe even more so than the other album that came out today, Glory Hammer. I don't know if there's a boring. Maybe not. I'll say that I don't think there's a boring song on this album. The thing that I love about this album is like every song has its own identity. The title track might be one of the best Death Angel songs ever. Changed my mind. But then like other songs that I really like. I like how like Immortal Behated is like a slower style song, and I love that. That's super cool. But then The Pack is a little bit more like, I call it like laid back thrash, and Alive and Screaming is a bit more just boom in your face. Like every sound has its own unique hook. It sounds a bit different with like different things going on, and I love it. I think Mark's vocals on this album are as great as ever. He's maybe one of my favorite thrash vocalists out there. He's really good. I just like the blend of the gruff and like the screams and the growls and whatnot, but then also how he can. You can still like carry like not carry a tune because that sounds bad, but like there's like almost still a melodic sense to it in a lot of ways, which I really like. But like, yeah, I think for just a couple examples, like The Pack is probably my favorite song, and I just love how like the main riff of that song is just like this chuggy just sort of thing going on, and I'm like, I dig this. I dig this a lot. But then I Came for Blood is cool. I love the chorus. It's that one. It's like all just up in your face, and then I think maybe the only part where I could say maybe the album loses me a little bit is literally just the last 2 tracks. I don't know. Those are the 2 that I'm not as familiar with, but like everything else, I think Ghost of Me is another fun song. Alive and Screaming, I love the chorus of that song, but it's just, I don't know if anybody does pure unadulterated thrash as good as Death Angel. Maybe Anthrax, but I think they're up there with Anthrax and Alive, especially with this album in terms of like, we're just going to do thrash. We're not going to sugarcoat it with this other stuff going on of trying to do other things. Let's just kind of just go balls to the wall thrash, and that's like a lot of what this album is. Great solos, great riffs. I think that there's maybe maybe a lot more songs that I could come back to, maybe comparatively to like especially The Dream Calls for Blood, which is an album that I kind of I do like the album. It's just that I have to go back and listen to it and be like, yeah, this album's good, but it's just one that I don't, probably that's the one I think about the least out of all their albums. But like, yeah, fucking there's I think, yeah, like I said, The Pack's probably my favorite song. Aggressors, and I love the acoustic intro before it busts back in. I think this is a great album. I mean, I don't want to get too sounded too specific. It's just I think everything meshes so nicely on this album. That is what kind of is its strongest point in a lot of ways. So
yeah. I mean, this album just it's just every time. Like, I agree with you. Like, every time I listen to a new Death Angel album, and just Death Angel in general, I'm always like, I need to listen to more Death Angel. Constantly. Because they're so fucking good. And this album is no different. I mean, right away with Humanicide, it's like, what a punch to the face. And I love the build-up of that song, you know, especially when like, the main riff starts going. It's just, the one guitar right now, and the drums are kind of starting to come in. This bam, 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 bam. It's like, let's fucking go, boy. Like, jump in the pit. What a riff. And it's just like those moments, Death Angel, when they pull it off, it's just, one of those just kind of shake your head and you're just like, fucking God, it's so good. It's, they create such an incredible feeling sometimes with a lot of that. And Humanicide's a very strong Death Angel song. A song that I just did not expect was Divine Defector. That song is so in your face with nearly, not quite blast beats, but almost blast beats on the drums. I mean, they're very, very fast. And that aggression for a Death Angel song, and then Mark's vocals are a lot more lower than usual. They really brought a lot of kind of emotion to that song, and I was like, wow, I'm just kind of blown away that they went with something this aggressive, this heavy. But I thought it was appreciated. I mean, it was an interesting song, and I like where they put it in the album. They put it very early. And then Aggressor's just another great song that just has a ton of fucking awesome riffs. I Came for Blood. I agree with you. Like, the chorus of that song's amazing, and especially Mark's vocals, I think, just really bring that chorus to life. But then kind of the more classic speed feeling on the guitars are just, it's so good. Immortal Be Hated, I agree with you. Like, the slower pace of it I really enjoyed, but then also I thought the lyrics were very interesting on that song, a lot more than a lot of the other ones. And then the Pack just has an incredible just build up every time. Those drums are kind of going, the guitar's going, and then the fucking verses come in. It's like, oh yeah, buddy. And I can see the Pack kind of being in a Death Angel set for the rest of their fucking career. It just has that feeling to
it. It's also just like with like the iconography of like how all their albums have the wolf pack kind of on there. It just fits, and I can see that being like a thing where that's like what they're gonna call their fans now.
Yeah,
like, welcome to the Pack.
Yeah, and I can also see the song being like a closing album or closing song to their set, just because of the feeling of it, the energy of it, the vocals, everything about it just fits like that sort of moment in a Death Angel set. It's a fantastic song. A standout track for me, which I like when Death Angel does a lot more of this stuff, is Revelation Song. That song has more of Mark doing a little bit more clean singing, which I really like when Death Angel does a lot of that stuff, when they do a slower track or incorporate some of the more clean vocals on Mark, because he's a great singer, and I thought that was kind of a welcome change as well. I mean, I think this is a great album for sure. Not every song just clicks like a lot of the other songs, but even when you're listening to them, Alive and Screaming of Rats and Men's a very fast track. They're not awful songs at all, and when you listen to them, you're like, fuck yeah, this is great. But when I put this album on, I want to listen to, there's a solid like 3/4 of the album that I'm like, fuck, I could go for any of these songs right now, sort of thing. It's just a solid Death Angel album. That's the thing with the past 4 or 5 albums from Death Angel. Like, to me, there's nothing really wrong with the albums. There's nothing I can point out of being like, oh, that was weird, that doesn't sound right, or that song just completely fucking blows. Like, every song is usually really good. It's just some are better than the others, a lot more memorable than other songs. The album as a whole might feel a little bit better, but there's nothing necessarily really wrong with any Death Angel album almost. That's just my opinion.
Which is weird, because like normally, like, I feel like even at this point, because these guys have been around for a while, even like what's one of my favorite albums from a few years ago, Metallica's most recent album. There's a couple songs in there I'm like, Song's weird. I don't know if I like it.
Yep.
But like, yeah, Death Angels, they're consistent. Maybe
very consistent.
Maybe
yes.
one of the most consistent bands around.
Yeah, and I guess that could, they do step outside of their boundaries sometimes with maybe doing a slower, more ballad-like song or anything, but they definitely stick to who they are, and they have this kind of bubble that they're in. But I think they pull it off so well all the time. Also, one thing that I think's great about Death Angels, I feel like every album they get a little bit better. A lot of the guitar solos on this album are really fucking strong.
Yeah.
They do a very good job of that. Yeah, it's fucking Death Angel, man. Just jam it. It's definitely one of my favorite albums of the year. I'll say that. Scores.
8.5.
Yeah. 8.5 to 9. 8.75. Fuck it.
There we go. We're going into the quarters.
875. Wow, I can't speak. 875 out of 1,000.
Yeah.
Eat my ass. Let me know what you think of. Let us know what you think of Humanicide from Death Angel. Thanks for watching.
Woo.
See ya.
Bye.